Special effects began, of course, with the first movie camera, invented in 1888, and it was able to take 10 pictures every second. 7 years later, the world saw its first special effect, the stop trick. The stop trick is a very simple technique. During filming, you simply stop and move whatever you're filming in any way you want to, then just continue filming. The trick was first used in the reenactment of Mary Queen of Scots' execution. The director cleverly slipped a dummy into the place of an actress right before the axe fell and chopped her head off. We can watch that scene again frame by frame to get a better view of the trick. Just watch closely, and right about here we'll see that change take place. A little later, a director in France discovered the same special effect when his camera jammed during a scene on a busy street. He fixed the camera and picked up right where he left off. In the end, he liked how all the cars and people had suddenly changed in his film, and went on to make more than 500 films, inventing new special effects along the way. This leads us right into the next major effect, time-lapse, or stop motion. These effects work exactly like a video camera or a flipbook. It's just a series of pictures played very quickly. You take a picture, and then you move your subject, and then you take another picture, and then you move the subject, and then you take a picture, and move the subject, and take a picture, and move the subject. Well, I think you get the picture. No pun intended. In my younger years, I experimented with stop motion by making videos of clay figures. Now, they're pretty bad movies, but they're good examples of this special effect, so I'll show you a couple clips. This one is one of my first movies I ever made, and you're going to see this guy shooting some sort of bullet. And I like to pause here in the bullet just to admire it. Notice it's made of Legos and is hanging by strings. I put a lot of work into that. Now it's going to proceed to hit this guy in the chest and kill him. It's a not very smooth video, as you can see. Here we have a guy being burned to death by a lamp. I had a very strange childhood. That's all I'm going to say there. This unfortunate green clay man is also about to die. Yes, as you can see, pierced by 4 toothpick arrows. Great sound effects on that, if I say so myself. This guy appears to have been crushed by a rock. And that guy just narrowly avoided being run over by a flying car. And for kicks, we're going to watch that again in slow motion. And there you have it. Okay, this next one is one of my favorite clips. That clay man who just avoided that car turns out to be not so lucky right here. Also, my voice is very high. Alright, now I'm just so proud of that we're going to watch it again in slow motion. Alright, that's about enough of that. So, this final clip is one of my finest works. At this point, my claymations were getting pretty smooth. You're probably sick of hearing my voice, so I'm actually going to play some music on top of this one. Here we go. Anyways, stop motion really became popular when people started blending real movie film with stop motion scenes. And here's one you'll probably recognize. And even with all the new technology, stop motion is still pretty popular because it's cheap and it's pretty fun. From here, bright minds in the movie business continued coming up with creative effects. Here are a few of them. dissolving, which is exactly what it sounds like, and rear projection, which uses a projector to give a scene a moving background.
Plus eternal youth equals a wacky little romance, which will bring you, if we may, in just a few seconds. I hope you'll enjoy it.
Another important effect was multiple exposure. Multiple exposure is basically combining several images into one image for some unique effect, for example, adding a ghost to a scene. This is what led to blue screen. That's right, blue screen, not green screen as it has come to be known. Blue screen was a very complicated process that blended one image with only the blue areas of another image. From the 1930s on, special effects kinda hit a standstill. There were new effects here and there, literally involving smoke and mirrors, but most filmmakers were just trying to perfect the techniques out there. All special effect processes were applied manually, one frame at a time. That was time-consuming and very difficult to get right, and even when it was right, the outcome wasn't always that impressive. It wasn't until the computer era that special effects made a huge leap into visual effects, or effects applied after filming takes place. Still, these old special effects are the foundation of every advancement in movies. They drew tons of money and attention into the movie business and expanded movie audiences like wildfire. Reducing the limitations of filmmakers meant creativity in films could soar to greater heights. It's hard to appreciate them in the time of movies like Avatar,
But we will send them a message.
and 2012. But hopefully now you can appreciate the beginnings of special effects a little more.